Are we just live?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're live. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How we doing?
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to the Norceca Championship.
This is day 3. We're almost at the end of today. We will be at the halfway mark.
That's right.
Actually, technically, in the middle of the third match. There's only 2 matches tomorrow.
Yeah, I think, 17 matches total? Today's the last day of pool play.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day today, we expect things to take a level increase in spice.
I think today we take a level increase in spice. I think when we look at the docket of matches across the board, you're much more. We are out of the dong days of Norceca.
In all likelihood.
And we are in. We're probably still going to see some dongs. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, we're definitely going to get into some spice today and some interesting matchups. I'm excited for the teams to bring their best today.
Me too. The pools will be decided today. The bracket will be set by the end of today. Bracket quarterfinal starts tomorrow. What we already know is that the team that is not playing today is Canada.
Is number 1.
Who has taken first in Group A. So congratulations to Canada. They have 2 days off. We will see Canada in the semifinals on Saturday.
I hope we see them around. Maybe we'll grab some of the guys. Have a
I
nice
hope we see them around too. So let's start by catching up with day 2's matches. It was another day full of 3 dongs.
It was.
And what we saw first was Cuba 3-donging Suriname. Suriname looked as good as we expected to after day 1. They very nearly took a set. They lost that third set 25-23.
And then first they were up.
In the second set, they were up by a good amount.
By a good amount. Cuba came back, and then it looked like it was all Cuba in the third. But Suriname battled. It was 25-23 at the end. That was the closest margin that we've had so far in a match. Was just the 2 points. So good on them. I got to talk to one of their managers afterwards too, and he was telling me, like, we only practice 2-3 times a week, 2 to 3 hours, 2 hours mostly, sometimes 3. So when you look at that compared to Team USA and Canada, who do 2-a-days on the regular, I'm assuming Cuba does the same too. I'm assuming Dominican Republic, Mexico, Puerto Rico all have extensive enough training schedules. It really puts it into perspective what the Norceca Championships are about, because some of these guys aren't full-time volleyball players. They're not professionals like the other teams. They're just normal dudes out here balling and having a good time.
Right, and so we talked to Suriname captain Kevin Sporkslade on the broadcast yesterday, and then we put up that interview by itself separately here on the YouTube channel. I really encourage you guys to go check that out. He talked a lot about how much it means for his team to be here, how difficult it was for his team to get here, physically, logistically, financially, and just like kind of what they're up against in general as they try to build a national team program from pretty much the ground up. And they're coming to a tournament like this and really showing out their best. So Everett and I are both definitely Suriname fans this week.
100%.
But it was Cuba yesterday.
It was.
Who played the bench mostly,
surprisingly
which
enough.
was a great step for Cuba, a mature and correctly managed step for Cuba. We saw Tabawada. We saw this Romero kid at opposite.
Yep.
We saw Suarez on the outside, who was really
Loved
good.
Him, yeah.
We saw Alexis Wilson, like a 19-year-old kid in the middle.
Even got to see Gorgat in the
We saw both liberos.
Yeah.
So and Cuba still got it done, and that was good to see for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they still had Melgarejo on the court,
who's a stud.
Who's a stud, who's a world-class player. I would even call Melgarejo maybe a top 15 outside in the world.
Wow.
He's definitely top 20.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Definitely top 20.
It's very difficult to rate outside hitters. There's a lot of really good ones, and maybe not so many super great ones that separate themselves. But Melgarejo,
he's legit.
Obviously,
legit.
Cuba has 3 outstanding outside hitters.
So, generally, in my opinion, he's usually the starter. So that may change throughout this tournament. So, yeah, Cuba still is still Cuba. They still have their guys. It's going to be hard for them to lose a game against a team like Suriname. But Suriname did do their best, and I like the fact that Cuba brought their bench because it was so much more energy coming from those guys than what we saw the day before for the starters against Puerto Rico.
And that's just correct roster management. They're going to play 3. They're going to play 3 games in a row in 3 days,
and then 7 and 9 days in just a couple of weeks.
Their easiest opponent was yesterday. Their most difficult opponent is today in the United States. It was the right move to play the bench yesterday for Cuba. They did. They still won 3-0. So good for them. Now they have a serious test tonight, and we'll talk about that game in a little bit.
We'll talk about that in the game in a little bit. Game number 2. Canada takes on Mexico. It was the first time we saw Mexico, and we saw people in the chat. Where's Diego Gonzalez? Where's some of our guys? They're missing some of their players from last year's World Championships, and not entirely sure why. Maybe we talked to Azair and figure that out after this afternoon's game, or this evening's game, I should say. But at the end of the day, Canada's looked really good so far.
Really good.
We've looked really, really good. I've been pleasantly surprised by how good we've looked, how efficient we've stayed, except from the baseline. The baseline was bad yesterday.
It was
18 missed serves in the first two sets alone, which was really bad. Only 4 in the third. So we really brought it down, got some aces there, which was really nice. But there's just an air of confidence. And I know they're playing lesser teams, but the offense is clicking. Very few errors out there. It looks like it's rolling, and we're seeing some different guys get in. We saw Jordan Schnitzer start yesterday. He played great. He played fantastic. We saw Sam Cooper get in. We saw both. Oh no, we've seen mostly Justin Louis. Justin Louis so far. So Canada's looking good all around. I think they look really solid. That pipe run is running fantastic. But most importantly, I think for what Canadian fans want to know is Eric Lepke is here. He's healthy, and he's looking very, very good. He led them in scoring yesterday, I believe, with 14 points. He chatted with us afterwards. You can check out that interview on this channel from yesterday with Mr. Eric Lepke. And just having him around just adds so many dimensions to this team offensively. From the baseline, you add in, just another outside there. So I think he's going to help out a lot down the stretch, and it's great to have him back wearing number 80 like Jerry Rice.
Yeah, 80 is a pretty wild sight. Yeah, Canada looked really good, and they, like we talked about on the broadcast, all those service errors in sets 1 and 2 didn't bite them at all because of how good their offense was. And it wasn't until set 3 that we saw Mexico sort of adapt a little bit and be able to slow Canada down a little bit, and then it was closer for the first half of the third set before Canada pulled away. Yes, Canada looks good. Yes, it's been against lesser competition, but you can kind of see the difference it makes compared to VNL with maybe 2 weeks under Tomas Samovuo, now to 2 months.
Not only under Tomas Samovuo, but also with Luke Herr,
the new starting center.
And I think that's a big one too.
I think Canada might be the most improved team in the world in the last 2 months.
Maybe. That's a really hard metric to.
It's very, very hard, but I
think we would beat Cuba or Turkey right now, which is all that matters. I'm looking at you.
Easily, yeah. Turkey in the European Championship not been very good at all. So I'm impressed with Canada. They really have gotten a lot more confidence, a lot more synergy, and when you have a brand new coach again, it takes a while to establish some things and figure it out, and they have started to do that. They look very comfortable, they look confident, they look in command, and now they're going to get 2 days off, and they're going to get a test, whoever it is against. It'll be either against the United States or Cuba, likely. In the semifinal.
Yeah, it'll be the loser of that game tonight will be playing in the quarterfinals tomorrow.
Will be a heavy favorite in that quarterfinal.
Yeah, exactly. As we've seen so far, the VNL teams don't really get touched by that second tier teams, and we do have 2 tiers, not 3 tiers here, Mr. Dominican Republic. But yeah, I think Canada looked good yesterday. Mexico, we're really gonna have to see what they look like today against the Dominican Republic to fully see what they look like.
We saw so many of their players. Yeah. They went to the bench significantly.
I really liked Baca.
The opposite side. Yeah, he was good.
And the idea of them having Gonzalez and Baca on the right side is tantalizing for Mexican fans, without a doubt. I think Lopez looked great. We expected that. And then Mexico is Mexico. They have a great first contacts. They serve tough. They pass well. They play defense like crazy.
Really good defense.
And they run it great in transition. And then, you know what? Whenever I get a chance to watch Pedro Rangel set, I'm going to take it. I absolutely love it. Even at one point, he did that dump over. Yeah. And we had Javier Weber, the Argentinian setter legend, sitting beside us and just laughing.
Yeah,
and
he loved it.
Yeah, he was fantastic. So
yeah, I like Rangel. So today, Mexico will take on the Dominican Republic, and I like Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like Mexico there for sure. I mean, they were the difficulty for the team for Dominican Republic and Mexico so far against Canada has been generating break points.
Yeah.
But Mexico's side-out offense was way better than the Dominican Republic's was on day one. Way better.
I picked Mexico to win this match, I think.
Definitely.
But I also think I picked them to be 4th. I think they're going to get through. I think they're going to make it through the semifinals.
Okay, yeah,
that's what
I could definitely see that.
I think we're gonna have a USA Mexico,
because then Mexico would probably play Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
If seeds hold, then I would agree. I think Mexico is the 4th best team here.
Yeah. For sure.
So, yeah, tough one to start against Canada, who looks very good, but now in a bit more level playing field, as we're going to see really throughout the rest of this tournament, teams that are a lot more evenly matched. Mexico versus the Dominican Republic will be a competitive game.
Let's talk about this a little bit. A little bit first. Where I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm the one who pulled this in. But let's jump over to the last game there. United States of America taking on the little brother in Puerto Rico. You already stole their best player, and you stole their hearts last night with a good 3-0 win. Puerto Rico, of course, the defending champs of this tournament.
Right.
Has to be talked about. But really, the USA looking a lot better.
Looked great. Played all the starters in the first set, then got the bench involved as the match went on. We started off something like 12 for 12 on offense.
Yeah, it was like 14, I think it was 14 for 14.
The offense was insane. Micah Christensen looked incredible. Yeah, I mean, we were never going to be touched by Puerto Rico. Our offense is just too good. Our serving was pretty good. I liked our ace-to-error ratio. Eye test, just really, really rock solid. Guys look comfortable. We had great chats with Micah Christensen and John Speraw afterwards that I really liked. They were both really insightful. And then we've gotten some guys in that are getting chances to
Everyone's gotten in.
Right.
We've
gotten everybody.
Yeah.
And all those guys have contributed a lot. And Speraw knows, like, I asked him last night that even though the players probably won't admit that they are looking forward to the Olympic qualifier, Speraw is, and he admitted that he is, and he knows that he has to be able to rely upon and trust his bench. And so far,
but you can. Like
the reality
100%. Is that when you look at this roster, this roster is up there with the best. Like, I would say the U.S. is deeper than Italy.
I think so.
Maybe not as much as Poland. Poland is Poland, but they're deeper than Brazil. They're deeper than Italy. They're deeper than France.
Yep.
Right. Like, USA I think USA being number 2 in the world is
exactly right.
It's exactly where they need to. Is exactly where they should be, and they're showing it. Like, this is a team that still has guys like Cody Kessel who aren't dressing.
Right.
And Cody Kessel is a very, very solid, very reliable. I would take him.
He's dressing as a cameraman.
Absolutely.
Cody doing some content last night.
So yeah, I mean, I think the USA looks fantastic right now. They seem comfortable. It's great to be around the guys. We just need Taylor Averill not to eat so many PB&Js, and we're good to go.
And on the Puerto Rican side, we saw flashes of what Clifton Lawrence could be as 100%. An outside hitter. There were a couple balls that he hit. There was one against 3 blockers that he ripped from high and like angle inside 3 blockers cross court that we were like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there was a big ball that he hit. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, those are world-class swings. And so he's going to get a chance to maybe be I think he's the best offensive player on that team. But he's going to be the guy today against Suriname for sure. It's a great chance to have a big offensive performance. Puerto Rico, other than that, though, there just wasn't really that much that they could do.
No.
They're certainly slowing down the U.S. offense was going to be impossible for them last night.
And guys like Elias and Ellis, who had fantastic games the night before against Cuba, were a little bit quieter. I did think Hoyos came out really strong.
He was much better.
I thought he was quiet against Cuba and was really, really good. He was much more of a leader, I thought, in the USA game.
I'd like to interview him. If Puerto Rico wins, I would like to chat with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to talk to Ozzy.
Coach, definitely.
Yeah, coach. I almost wish we had like more time. Maybe we break off and do like double. Maybe you do some on the stream and then I do some by
mix some.
Good
idea.
But we can talk about it for sure. We're doing production meetings here while we're live. Overall, like we've talked about it, like Mexico, how they kept some of their players at home. Puerto Rico also did a youth movement, and we would have to confirm this with players and staff and whatever it is. But I do think that that's a conscious choice to go away from an older generation that didn't really necessarily get it done, and now going towards a new generation centered around Clifton Lawrence. Because like Ellis on the right side
19.
is young. Elias in the middle is young. Rodriguez, the setter, he's a little bit older. He's like 27, but he's doing a fantastic job. So I think once they have this a bit of a youth movement moving around this Puerto Rican team, you're going to really see them improve a little bit. But that moving Clifton Lawrence to the left side is the good call.
And they really need like both Suriname and Puerto Rico need this win today to advance to the bracket. But Puerto Rico in particular needs a confidence building win here. That team needs to win this game today. I think that they can. I think that it will be competitive as we kind of transition into projecting today's matches, because Puerto Rico versus Suriname is up first. Winner will take third in Group B and will get into the quarterfinal tomorrow. And Puerto Rico's got a great chance to do that. I think that their players obviously have more and higher level experience than Suriname does. My question is going to be who can make the least unforced errors. serving, attacking. I think their side-out rates, honestly, are going to be pretty similar.
We'll see. We'll really see. It'll be very interesting to see those two teams. Do we just jump? Okay, yeah.
It's going
to be very
interesting
interesting to see those two teams go head-to-head against similar competition. And now I'm wondering, have these two teams seen each other? Did they play each other? Because the Suriname has played two competitions. They played like the Caribbean Cup and then the Caribbean Games, which are
those two different events.
Whatever that
there's like a Central American and Caribbean tournament.
Yeah, Central American Games or whatever it is, the one that Cuba went to in the middle of VNL. So they've played those two events. I'm wondering if those two teams have seen each other before.
We'll go check the records before the match.
Probably know, but hey,
But what's your pick? I think this is when Suriname takes a set, but I think it's Puerto Rico 3-1.
I'm gonna go Puerto Rico 3-2 maybe.
Ooh, a 5-setter.
Yeah, I want to see a 5-setter for once.
I'd like to see a 5-setter as well. We did have some feedback from a Surinamese fan in the chat that said on their way to winning those Caribbean tournaments, Suriname had multiple reverse sweeps where they went down 2-0 and brought it back to win them in 5.
Okay, so we're just going to look here. Let's see, they played Trinidad, they've played El Salvador, lost to Dominican, lost to Mexico, lost to Cuba.
They played Puerto Rico 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Twice.
In the final 6 there. So yeah, that would have been the last time they played Puerto Rico, which is, you can't.
That's 2 years ago. Yeah, lots changed for both teams since then. So I've got Puerto Rico 3-1. I hope that Suriname takes a set. I know they came in saying that was their goal. I think their goal should honestly be set higher than that. I think they could win a match. I'm just not sure it's this match. I also like Puerto Rico's serving. I think they're a better serving team than Suriname is right now. And who's going to make less unforced errors, I think, is the storyline here. But Puerto Rico definitely has more firepower.
Yeah, if Sporkslade needs to have his third set last night, not the first and second. Yeah. He needs to play like he did in the first night against USA and not in the first and second sets last night. And maybe one or two of their other players, like Brian Berg, was really good yesterday for Suriname as well. All right, next match, Rob. We're going back over to Pool A. This one's going to decide who finishes second, who finishes third.
Both will go to the quarterfinal.
Both will go to the quarterfinals. You're right. Mexico, Dominican Republic.
Right.
I think I have Mexico in this
Me
one.
too.
I really
I've got
do.
I've got them 3-0 unless Dominican can significantly change something from what we saw on day one.
I think Dominican has the ability. They have the talent. They have the guys. They just. It looked to me to be a mentality thing against Canada. Like, they were not mentally in that game.
No,
I don't even know if they were told that the tournament started today. I thought they thought it was a practice match, to be perfectly honest. I'm expecting a better performance today from the Dominican Republic. I want to see something more from Tapia. He was meh.
Invisible.
And I really want to see something more from number 4, Hernandez. He's a big body. He swings well. It looks like he's slimmed down a little bit, too, since the last time I saw him last summer. So I'm expecting more from him. I'm wondering if they're going to move Almonte back to the libero position. Because right now they have 2 liberos, and in the past 2 times I've seen Dominican play, in 2019 and last year, he was fantastic as the libero. So I'm not sure why he's not there. He's just wasting away on the bench. I want to see someone step up for the Dominican here.
Me too. But we've only seen one match of theirs,
That's
and
true.
that one match was not a good showing.
It's not a good indication when you're playing against a steamroller like Canada right now.
Yeah. So, but I have faith in Mexico. I think they're similar teams in breakpoint generation, but I really like Mexico's side out a lot better than Dominican Republic. So I think there's a great chance this is a 3-0.
One thing to note, though, about Mexico, I have seen that traditionally they're like Team Canada women. Oh, we're definitely live.
Oh, we're live. You want to come in, Rob?
You want to jump on?
You want to chat with us?
About
I don't know.
volleyball.
We're just talking about the tournament.
Right now we're previewing Mexico and Dominican Republic.
But we're going to preview USA and Cuba in a minute.
Yeah. So Mexico, but anything else about Mexico? We kind of touched on it before when we were talking about both of those teams. I really like this Mexican team so far. I think they've got a lot of different options, and I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot more pride when you start getting to these more equal games.
Good one. We've never had that issue before, Michael.
Yeah.
All right, hey, Mr. Rob Aspero, get in here.
Come join us.
Get in here.
We don't have a lower third for you, but you can come stand right in the middle.
Yeah, The people are going to know. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Rob Aspero, the live MC of the event.
How's it going, all?
Rob on the mic, as they call him.
Are we streaming live here?
Yes, we are.
We're streaming live on YouTube at the moment.
These guys are doing an awesome job. I've been doing everything I can to get these guys out there. Follow them, support them, love the comments. If it's a little slower, that's when I'm on the chat board. So I'm working.
This man is live emceeing a game and also like active in the YouTube comments of the live stream. It's incredible.
We were saying though that you're clearly not listening to us, so that we could be saying anything about you we wanted. We could be like talking smack. We could say, oh, his voice cracked there, something like that. Like maybe his pronunciation isn't great.
My Speedos are a little tighter, so my voice is a little higher.
There you go.
I'm wearing loose clothes today. Voice is deeper.
So, Rob, the last game we have to preview is United States versus Cuba. What has impressed you so far about Team USA through 2 matches?
3 letters, TJD or TJ DeFalco. And if you've seen the highlights from him last night, they're like, okay, let's take his angle, thump down the line. Oh, wait, let's take his line, thump in the angle. But, surprisingly, as good as he's been doing, Jake Haynes is leading in points.
Jake Haynes has been pretty good so far. Yeah. I mean, he's been impressive. He's been very efficient, I've found, which is something that I got to see him at the Pan Am Cup last year. He wasn't quite so much there, but he's been very efficient here, and I'm starting to really like him there on the right side. I think he's really grown this summer quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to say one of the things that's really been the surprise has been the implementation of the 2 Libero system by Spera. He's bringing in McIntosh in for defense and Shoji on serve receive. It's like interesting. It's the first time I've ever seen that in the USA program, but it's working. McIntosh is actually leading in the stats above Shoji.
He's played a little more, but yeah. we asked Spera about that last night, and he said that that's something that, like you said, the U.S. has never done that. They've never done the 2 libero thing, but because McIntosh is such an insane defender, which we've seen for 2 matches now, Spera he said he just wanted to see it. He wanted to try it. He wanted to see it
perfect
once.
Opportunity
Yeah, it is a perfect opportunity to try it. He wanted to get a gut feeling about it and see if it worked. I thought it looked good last night, but against Cuba today, I would be shocked if we didn't see all Eric Shoji, because Cuba, as we know, Everett, is scary. Big bangers, firepower everywhere. It depends on kind of if they wake up and want to play a really intense game.
That to me is that traditionally I've always seen, and like whether it's Cuba or the Dominican Republic on the women's side, I've always seen those teams not really perform that well in the pool play matches a little bit. As your buddy over there on the DJ stand, he's obviously quite jealous.
Ray Gooden, he's the man.
He's obviously quite jealous that you're standing here with us and not with him, and that's why he's trying to drown us out there with the music. But I'm expecting 3-0 from the USA tonight.
Really?
Yes. Not because of ability.
Old call.
Not because of ability, but just because like this is I've seen this story before. Cuba's not going to come out full force, right? And we're going to see the best of Cuba on the weekend without a doubt, but the U.S. is like they thrive in pool play. They thrive in the group situations, and Cuba is just like kind of going through the motion. So I think we're going to see a USA. It's going to be more competitive without a doubt, but I think we're going to see a USA 3-0.
We may see a different lineup though this weekend for USA. So that's what the chatter is, and we'll just see. I know Matt Anderson's back in the lineup for the first time. Only played 1 set, but, I mean, he's definitely back. He's kind of talented, and it's actually kind of jealous.
He's okay. He's had an okay career.
Gets 8 kills. Oh, yeah, Coach, I'm taking a break.
Spera did tell us beforehand that it might just be a tester out, a feeler out for Maddie.
Well, also, it's bringing in a bunch of middles, getting him some time. Jeff Jendrick finished the match with a hammer. Got to love seeing that happen. Fresh off the bench, and Smith's been consistent. Avril's been doing good stuff. So, you got exciting things going on here.
Totally. I actually also have USA 3-0 tonight.
Yeah.
Now it's so Everett and I have seen the duality of Cuba for sure. We saw them earlier this summer. We were in Ottawa for VNL when they beat Brazil in 5, and it was an absolutely electric match. But then at the same time, like out of nowhere, they can lay down and lose to a team 3-0 that they have more talent than. Like we saw them play the United States in Anaheim, and that was a 3-0. It was decently competitive, but the U.S. seemed to be in control the entire time. I agree with Everett. I think we're going to see a different Canadian team come bracket play. Cuba, yeah, sorry. Canada already looks good.
We do.
We will see a different Cuban team come bracket play. I think tonight we'll go to the USA.
My highlight of the day, though, for Team Canada was meeting the Louis family dog here.
Oh yeah,
that's whose dog that was.
Yeah.
You know, cute little. I mean, I couldn't even pay attention to the match. No offense, Canadian volleyball fans, but the dog is cute.
Yeah.
I was wondering whose dog that was.
They're all going. All the parents for Canada are going whitewater rafting today.
Oh, with the dog, hopefully.
Hope so.
I hope so. We'll have to ask them.
Well, I just want to finish. I've got to jump over there, but keep following these guys. Get on there, send comments, and get the word out. We, in the States here, not a ton of people are really tapped in, but you guys are. Been on that chat board. You guys are super active. I appreciate all you guys sending the comments and following the teams. So great job by these two guys. Kind of handsome. They're up there. If it weren't,
we're not up at your level. That's why they're putting us. That's why they're putting us kind of in the back here. They put you on the side for everyone to see.
Tall, dark, and handsome, short, brown, and cuddly. Right here.
Hey,
thanks, Rob.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Rob.
That was awesome. Shout out to Rob Aspero. So that's
Beauty,
our preview.
beauty.
What did we pick? 3-1, 3-0, 3-0. You picked 3-2 for Puerto Rico.
So maybe the dong days are not over. Let's jump in on this. Let's just check the comments right now from the
chat.
YouTube.
Yeah, what are people saying?
Oh wow, we've got a lot of
good. Love to see people watching.
I did call Cuba. I've been calling Mexico for spider monkeys for a while. I apologize if anyone thinks that's insensitive. I see it as being a compliment because they just dig everything. So I love watching the Mexican team when they're at their peak. They're so much fun, right? I was cheering for them so hard last year when they beat Bulgaria.
Oh,
we were watching that.
I remember that.
We were chatting during that one, and we were both pulling for Mexico in that one.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what else. I didn't really look. Short, brown, and cuddly.
By the way, Everett, we've got Suriname in behind us. They are wearing the white and green today, which is awesome.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any questions.
All right.
And mostly people are loving our love for Suriname. Honestly, we're loving all of our Surinamese fans. Like we've loved the love from you guys. We've loved the team out here so far as they're literally getting ready behind us. They're wearing the sweet white and green jerseys. Even Sporkslade yesterday told us that he thought those were the best ones. So yeah, they're gonna look fly out here today. Although Puerto Rico's jerseys aren't bad either.
I like them.
I like them as well with the sleeveless. So
I like the white the best. Looks like Hoyos back there is wearing red today.
Yeah, he is.
So I think that's a show. We're gonna get out of the way here so Suriname and Puerto Rico can warm up. We will see you guys in
an hour. Literally an hour.
First serve right here on Volleyball Source. So you know where to find it. You're already here. See you live for first serve. Can't wait for day 3 of matches. Bracket will be set by the end of the night.
Peace.